In 1939, Nazi Germany began an invasion of Poland, thus igniting yet a second powder keg in 30 years in what would create World War II. The Nazis would not only shock the world in their attempted extermination of the Jewish race, but they would also revolutionize technology and even inspire some of today's technological feats. But a question looms. How were the Nazis able to accomplish these feats when, not even 30 years ago, the Treaty of Versailles banned them from researching or building any sort of machine of war? The truth is, German scientists went underground, feverishly worked around the clock, planning, researching, and building machines that would defy all technological expectations of the era. One of the Nazis' more chilling projects was the transatlantic bomber. The transatlantic bomber was a Messerschmitt 264 bomber, was equipped with high-powered rockets in order to propel it into the atmosphere, and had enough fuel to sustain a 30-hour flight to New York and back to Germany. When pitching this idea to his scientists, Hitler was quoted as saying that he wanted to see New York City skyscrapers light up like blazing torches. But thankfully, the plane never saw a mission, as the Allies' carpet bombing over Germany during the latter years of the war destroyed most of the factories and research labs where the Messerschmitt 264 was being built. The Messerschmitt 264 was definitely one of the more devious inventions of Nazi Germany. Had it been produced in mass quantities and sent on frequent missions, New York could have suffered similar blitzes to that of London, England. But a transatlantic bomber was just the beginning of Adolf Hitler's sadistic fantasies. The next invention that the Nazis would unveil would not only surpass any technological expectations of its era, but pave the way for some of the most advanced aircraft warfare technology known to this day. I give you the Horten 229, Hitler's very own stealth bomber. It sounds bizarre, crazy, insane. The stealth bomber wasn't created in America until the 1990s, yet Hitler had it in 1944? As insane and crazy as it sounds, it's true. Hitler had stealth bomber technology towards the end of World War II. But what's even more incredible than the thought of Hitler having a stealth bomber was how fast the thing could fly. Because of metal shortage at the end of World War II, Nazi engineers were forced to use PVC-type plastic for the plane's frame. This, combining with the strides that Nazis have made in recent years towards rocket technology, allowed the plane to fly up to 600 miles per hour. But that isn't what makes it a stealth bomber. That isn't what makes it comparable to today's stealth bomber. What makes it comparable is that it could actually avoid radar. The secret? Graphite. A layer of graphite paint was applied over the surface of the aircraft. Graphite absorbs radio transmissions that reflect the plane's size and location. Had this aircraft had seen battle time, we can't even measure the damage that it would have done to the Allied forces. I mean, even today, the stealth bomber is the epitome of aircraft technology. And that's more than 5 decades later. The simple explanation is, how can you fight something that you can't see? So why didn't this plane reach the battlefield? The explanation is simple. They ran out of time. By the time the Nazis had completed the plan, the war was over. And countless lives were saved. But there is still one question that looms. How close were the Nazis to conquering the world? How close were they to the Third Reich? History books don't tell the full story. The Nazis were so close to achieving world domination that it's not even a laughing matter. Had they have had one earlier breakthrough, had they maybe started a couple months earlier, maybe even it's as simple as have they had hired less scientists or hired more scientists, we'll never know the variables. But if these inventions, if these machines of war were to reach the battlefield, I don't even want to think about the consequences. So remember, the next time you hear about Hitler and his twisted fantasy of the Third Reich, remember, it wasn't as far off as we would have liked. It was much closer, much more real, and much more of a nightmare than any of us could ever have fathomed.